everyone, and welcome to today's live session on disrupting dynamics reporting and intelligence with BI4Dynamics. My name is Natalie Trudell, and I am the marketing manager at Corporate Renaissance Group. I would like to thank you all for spending your time with us today as we touch on this very important topic of data and analysis in Dynamics, and why BI4Dynamics is really helping to transform how Dynamics users are turning their information into insight. It is my pleasure to introduce you to your two very esteemed hosts today. Dr. Vijay Jog is the founder of CR Group and president of Global Business Applications for CR Group's parent company and 2019 Microsoft Partner of the Year, Quisitive. Vijay is a leader in finance and has over 25 years of experience in the Dynamics space, which allows him to offer insights into the power of effective BI and the changing role of data in driving business success. Next, we have Mladen Gvozdenovic. He's the CEO of BI4Dynamics, and we are very honored to have him here today to show you around. He has over 15 years in BI, and he offers Dynamics users practical solutions for reporting, data intelligence, and delivering reporting that meets the needs of modern businesses. And I will now pass things over to Vijay to get this session started.
Thank you, Natalie, and thank you, participants. To me, this is a groundbreaking product, as you will see. Just to give you a little bit about who we are, as Natalie mentioned, we have been in this space as a consulting firm and experts in Dynamics and BI for over 30 years. And that allows us to get first-hand experience on the limits and the gaps that we find today in both NAV, BC, or AX and FNO. So we're really excited about getting BI4Dynamics as a solution in front of all of you. And I always say to my clients, you have to see it to believe it. And I'm so glad that Mladen is joining us today to actually show you the product so that you know that this is a real product. Okay. The other context I want to provide to you, because I know you are probably leading the FP&A function in your firm, is that if you look at Dynamics, Dynamics is providing the first three layers of what we call our level 7 enterprise. It provides Dynamics, either AX, DFO, NAV, or BC, CRM, SharePoint, Teams, etc., etc. But at the end of the day, we still require data structured to make easy decisions. And to be fair, Dynamics out of the box, even though it comes up with many Power BI reports, doesn't really provide for the CFO or Office of the CFO what they need on their fingertips at a cheaper price. Okay. So if you think about BI4Dynamics, how it sits in our world, given we are an implementation firm, it sits right next to all the Dynamics cloud and or on-premise ERPs, and it leverages Power BI and Excel. Okay. And it also helps us in our planning and budgeting platforms. So what do we see today, and why this BI4Dynamics is going to be a phenomenal product for people to use, or a solution for people to use, is data alone is not enough anymore. CEOs and C-suite managers are looking for insights. More is being asked from the CFOs, and the time is limited. Companies are also saying, don't tell me what happened. I need to know what could happen, but I need to know what happened on my fingertips. And I want to be self-served, and I want to be easy to use. And currently in the dynamic space, it's simply not possible. Okay, you require business analysts, technical people, data analysts, data scientists to get us data from Dynamics, hundreds of tables in both platforms, and into what we know, either Power BI or Excel. So the question then is, how can we give the C-suite colleagues of ours easily accessible data? They don't have to know what tables exist, and it's self-search. That's kind of the value proposition of BI4Dynamics. And you know what? Can we do it? Absolutely. Are there Power BI reports out of the box? Absolutely. But Dynamics, both NAV, BC, AX, DFO, have very complex structures, multiple tables, same field in multiple tables, definitions are different. And if you start modeling these hundreds of tables, it's going to take you a long time, and it's going to cost a lot of money. And at the end of the day, people still would not be happy. At least that's our experience. So, and that's why, to be frank with you, we as a consulting firm and BI4Dynamics partner are extremely excited. every table is in the solution. This is the only solution I know of, or we know of, that is available almost out of the box, plug and play for data intelligence and reporting. You don't have to worry about technical aspects. Everything is user driven. Any user, and you'll see it in a minute, can start reporting on key Dynamics KPIs in no time with the largest library of Power BI and Excel reports. And every dimension and every measure in every application area is in either Power BI or Excel. So people can drag and drop, create new reports, and get on with life. They don't have to ask finance to do anything for them. It's self-serve. And the setup is very, very fast. And we also have a no obligation trial offer, because sometimes people say this just can't be true. And no matter how much I tell them, they just want to see, show it to me in my data. We can absolutely do that because it's really fast. For our, to be very selfish, for us, with BI4Dynamics, getting data out of AX, FNO, NAV, BC allows us to get data and also leverage that data for our planning and budgeting practice. So for me, if I'm putting a CFO hat, I have a fully integrated BI solution and an FNA platform, and it doesn't matter if I don't know a single table in AX, FNO, or NAV or BC. On top of that, and today we'll not have time to show that to you, if you have data sets that are outside Dynamics, given the architecture of BI4Dynamics, you can ingest that data into the data warehouse that comes as part of the platform. If you're interested in that, of course, we can do a one-off session with you. Today, we are going to only focus on Power BI and Excel and as many application areas as we can, given the time we have. So about BI4Dynamics, they're 15 years in Dynamics and BI space. We check them out, so to speak, because we want our clients to be happy with the solutions we choose. And what I liked about this solution, and continue to like it and being excited about it, is it's out of the box, it's completely flexible, and it's ready to use. Doesn't take days and weeks and months of people's time, and they already have thousands of happy customers that they have served worldwide. So we don't have to worry about, are they capable? And of course, no coding required. Another beautiful part of the solution. So what do you get? And again, I won't take thunder, I won't steal Mladen's thunder. You probably get the biggest library of out-of-the-box Power BI and Excel reports. And the reports and dashboards are designed with the business user in mind. And that's because Mladen and his team's experience in working in this space for 15, 20 years. All the reports are readily accessible. The dashboards are really clean. It's available on mobile. Every dimensions and measures are there. And on top of that, they have built time intelligence, year over year, month over month, this year, last month, all the things we need all the time that are really difficult to model in a solution that you develop yourself. And all application areas are available. Okay, good. Having said that, I want to turn it over to Mladen, and Mladen will take you through a little bit of how data gets into Power BI and then actually show you the demo. So Mladen, take it away.
Thank you, Vijay. Let me show the screen. So this is the most technical slide that we will have today, and it is about architecture. If you have on-premise solution, then life is simple. We can easily access your tables and make a transformation. Transformation is done within SQL, which is really good for scalability and complexity of the model. And you do not have to worry that this is written here at data warehouse, because just imagine you have a beast with flexibility of Power BI. This is what we did with our data transformation engine. And you as a user are going to access a tabular or multi-dimensional model in analysis services that are going to offer you data in a form that any BI tool can consume. The whole solution is really very scalable. At any level, you can scale up and transform the data you want. Now, if we move on to a cloud solution, either Business Central or DFNO, then the data are not directly accessible to external tool. And in the BC, we export this data to the blob storage, and we take this journey here with the data transformation that is similar to what we have in a on-premise world. And in F&O, we are waiting for the release that Microsoft is going to release a preview where the data are going to land in Azure Data Lake, same like BC, where we are going to grab and do a data transformation so that Azure Analysis Services will be the source of data for browsing with Excel and Power BI. Now, with this way, we are using all the Azure resources, most economical and for scalability and flexibility that you have not seen. Now, unfortunately, we are not going to look too much into the technical part, which is my favorite. I'm solution architect. We'll be looking into the content of this data transformation. So what is it for you as a user in this data transformation? Now, all the things, all the steps, I can just tell you, are fully automated, and we are taking 200 tables from 1,500 BC table or from 11,000 F&O tables and do this data transformation. So the end result is that you don't have to compromise BI content over services, because what you are getting is a software solution. It's a product that has been tested, that has been implemented 1,000 times, and it's working. It's working on day one. You don't have to compromise on granularity of data or size. We are crunching, for example, 5 terabytes of data with 4 sources in 5 hours on a daily. No problem at all, because SQL is behind the engine that does the data transformation. If the more data are going to come, no worries about that. When we are in Azure, we design our architecture so that it optimizes Azure resources, and you would not pay more than it is required to fully utilize the resources and offer you the best user querying experience, because you are going to connect to analysis services model, which is hosting data in memory, so that user experience is really, really, really good. Now, all this with the content that we will look, you can choose 15 or 20 global dimensions that are available across all application area that can be set, because we are taking data on granularity, lowest level granularity, which is a document or line or transaction or voucher or receipt. Plus, we can set up at that level also the permissions. In BC, we have developed a special module which makes the managing permissions easily directly from the BC into our model. Let's enough talking. Let's have a look into our solution, what it offers. So if you are BI4Dynamics customer, then this is your starting dashboard, and we are looking now into the sales area. And I encourage that all users are looking into broader, so that you are not looking into only the sales sales KPIs, like some of them are common, some of them are less common, but we also include some information about inventory and receivables, so that you can see with one view all the important KPIs to run sales, your sales department, your sales business. Now, going into more details, we narrow into the sales, which this dashboard looks very similar to the previous one, but here we are focused also on master table, which in our case is a customer. So we're looking into customer net sales, variance percentage, profits, but also what is the average amount late and what is the average days late in delivery, and how many days pass since our last transaction with the customer. And if your business is more item oriented, so in this case, we just easily change the row level here and move it from customer into category, item category, product group, anything. If you are the retailer, you can bring the location. If you want to see the data by salesperson, this is Power BI. Now, the Power BI part is the one that makes everyone really happy, because the visualizations are really good part. But BI4Dynamics take care that all the content that is available to Power BI is nicely structured and brings really good meaning, a business value to a dynamic customer. we'll be looking into a few next steps, some of the specifics. So one already, for example, is this one. Then we can look our sales by item sales, resource sales, posting directly to the GL accounts, cost, charges, and similar attributes in the sales line type. Now, if I would ask you, what is your best customer? Who is your best customer? Then this dashboard will give you a lot of information. There is no straightforward answer what is the best. Is it the best customer which gives you most revenue, or it is fastest growing year to date in absolute or in relative terms, most profitable? You can spot if customer that you think is good stop buying from you. So that's definitely alert that you can check here immediately. And if you want to have a happy customer, then days late and amount late that you are delivering to your customer should not be high, because that is really something that you should care. And you are not even aware that this all information is hidden inside of your dynamics. Now, the business ends when we collect receivables. So we should look into the balance, receivable, average balance, percentage overdue, and good customer will definitely decrease, not increase the need change. And one important information, it's turnover in days. So filtering this at any level, it's clearly possible. And in BI4Dynamics sales model itself, there are 40 dimensions that you can analyze and filter by. Now, looking into dynamics of a business requires a day dimension. And here we are going to do some comparison. So what I mean by comparison, I'll just explain this into Excel. We are jumping into Excel, and I will explain what I mean with this time intelligence comparison. So we have a need sales as a base P&L transactional measure, which BI4Dynamics can transform or extend into 50 variances. What I mean 50? So we can easily create with one click 5 buckets of year-to-date sales. So you can see here year-to-date sales index, last variance percentage, year-on-year, period over period. So we can look into one line and see last 12 periods, or rolling 3, 6, 12 months cumulative or monthly average. And same also on month to date and more. So all this is available and can be created based on one transactional measure, like need sales. It can be like debit amount, invoice quantity, or any other. So this is something that requires only one click and the data will be there. Now, how do we use this? So you can see this need sales year-to-date variance, but here is also something else that I want to point. It's need sales in additional currency for the reporting. Actually, this is a reporting currency. So part of all the measures that you have in the local currency, there is also a lot of measures in additional currency for the reporting across all application area. And this is a currency that you set up while setting up BI4Dynamics. It will pick up the currency from your dynamics and exchange rates from your dynamics. So you may be already happy growing 14%, but actually in additional currency, you are growing 12%, okay? And looking into the customer table over time, there are similar measures here. Also, you can see here ACY. And there are, I think, about 250 measures, only ACI measures in BI4Dynamics. Now to visualize, here, this is a part of Power BI. We can use any visuals that is available there. What we are showing here is small multiple. We are looking into customer sales and changing this into looking into what's going on with our items, or we can look into how this customer is selling items. This is really not difficult using Power BI. So actually by implementing BI4Dynamics, we are also bringing your Excel and Power BI knowledge into higher gear, because this is necessary to fully explore the possibility that we have. Now moving into analytics into the item table, we are looking into similar measures that we have seen here. But what I want to highlight is that we are including here also inventory, and we are looking into inventory value. First, I will show this as a stock turnover in days, but hey, there is also one measure here saying aging stock value higher or bigger than a year. It means out of these stock value that we have here, almost all of this stock hasn't been moving for a year, right? Interesting kind. And also information about how many items are out of stock. If an item is out of stock, we'll look into this information out of stock more if we're looking into the item by date, because this is really very visual. Again, you can see it's so easy to spot like outlining events because they're already, highlighted by color, and you can choose your color as you want, but this is something that it looks quite nice. I just want to say, for example, again, to continue our discussion about the inventory, because you can't be successful in selling if you are out of stock. So tracking out of stock, it's really important information for your sales. And we provide, you can see here, 12 measures only related to out of stock. You may think, okay, this is a part of the inventory, correct, but inventory and sales are really, really so related, and having it simply in this one dashboard, beautiful. Now, a few more things that BI4Dynamics support out of the box. You'll just go through here. Of course, there are budgets there, and there is interesting view is the new item sales or new customer sales. So we are looking into new customer sales in 2017 Q2. So we have 1.2 million in sales and 40 new customers that brought us 10% of the total sales and 36 items with 5.5% of sales. And we can see here, if you say, okay, let's go into Sweden, okay, these guys bought 27 new items. There are new items here. There is one customer that's a new customer. Total, there are 2 customers. You can see this new customer is really important for us there because they are taking most of the sales in this region. Similar, we can look into the new items and new customers by filtering out any attribute that we have, like item category, location, or anything else. More about sales. We are looking into latest sales transaction, and it must be a story so that you understand. So what we are looking here is top items, and we can see that our top 10 item approximately hasn't been sold for 34 days. And we are looking into, this was the last location, and we can see that these are the customer that were buying, and which customer was the last buying this item is actually the customer here down. And actually this is really not an important customer. You already see by the value, the total value, this is not really important. So we should be kind of, not feeling very comfortable. And if you look, like this is a really important visual. We can see if this happened, these days since last transaction already before in period, and we can go as far as back as you have Dynamics data. So we can see not only current situation, but we can go back in time. And we can look into this also from another perspective. So we can see our top customers and what's going on with this customer here. Are they stopped buying? Are they switching to another vendor? And we can see which items they are buying, for how many days they have not been buying in the last period, what is the last transaction, and on we can go. So a lot of details you are having in Dynamics, and we are just exposing it in a very nice way. This is the last part that I want to show you, and it's about sales delivery, which means what makes your customer happy is that you are accurate on delivery and you are not late at all. So how do we calculate this? When you open a sales order, you are going to enter one of the following dates: planned delivery date, promised delivery date, expected delivery date, and BI4Dynamics will setting will pick one. And when you ship items or services, equally valid for services, then it will calculate the posting date of shipment and the delivery date, and it will calculate the weighted average of amount late and days late. So we can see, let's say if we go into this dot here, this is like Iceland, and these customers are definitely not happy because the dot is small and it's red, which means percentage of delivery late is high. And also we can look into it from different perspective. Let's sort this amount late and see how it affects our business. And you can see everything that is red is referring to the customers who are not buying at all. Is this the reason? Kind of look like, maybe not the only one, but you have another information that you can analyze because you're already gathering this data. You can also look into this from item perspective. So how successful are you delivering items at any level with any attribute to your customer? And you can see, is this improving over time or is it not? So you can now understand that I'm speaking only about the sales area, and there is really a lot of content, and this content is available here, and you can just drag and drop and design your reports the way you want. So these templates are available for a quick start and gives you the idea what we have gathered over the years of experience in thousands of projects across the globe. Now we are moving into inventory, just to highlight and speak a little more about this inventory aging. So this would be an inventory and overview where we are looking into the balance, average balance, variance quarter on quarter, turnover in days. What is really interesting is this here with colors, balance by aging group, it says. So this is same shape you can see here, but we have a better information about what is not moving over a year, what is under 100 days and 100 days to a year. Let's jump into aging page where we have more details. And let's forget about aging for a second. Now we are looking into the stock or inventory value going from 5 million to 2 million. We are very happy. No, the best stock is no stock. And turnover in days confirm this. No worries at all. The trend is really strong and we are moving items faster and faster. Now, however, and that's really not a good news, is that more and more items that are moving faster are those items which are already, let's say, young, sort of to say, and items that are over a year in our inventory are not moving that successful. So we are actually gathering information and we are having information by date. This is not something that you are tracking on a daily basis. That's usually not the case. And you can see here that this information for how many days items are not moving, this is aging. It's telling us in these buckets for how many days, and this is the value. Of course, the same item can be, one batch can be here and another batch can be here and another batch can be here. You're not buying items only once, but you don't really want to have a red color here over a year because items may become obsolete. And this is this red line showing us here. And even if this is going to look percentage-wise, you can see here more than 50% of items is 52% of items is not moving more than a year. That's kind of a problem. If we look into this closer, then what we see here is, let's just filter into our furniture. And what we'll see here in item level, that we look into these buckets of aging, and we compare these aging buckets, quantity and value, to the latest purchase price. So you can see here, this chair here has, these are the buckets, and this is the average stock cost if you calculate this value, and we compare it with the latest purchase price to calculate the what we call aging price variance percentage, which means if this is red, I mean if this is a positive one, it means that your stock value, current stock value, is higher than its latest purchase price, and you are going to either have less profit, lose some money, or have to completely write off the value. And how much it is, this is quite a good information. And at the same time, we are looking into the average price in this period, then quantity in this period, stock and price, and also the latest information about the purchasing. So it is 60 days since we purchased these items. This is the value, quantity, this is the date. Was it a one-time purchasing or was it also a previous purchase date? So all kind of information you are gathering from BI4Dynamics in a very simple structured manner. Now we are moving into the finance. Okay, so in the finance, I'm going to Excel, which is connected to the same structure of the data that we have seen in the Power BI. And we are going to create an ad hoc report just to understand the flexibility. So the base of this flexibility and these features that I'm going to show are account schedules in NAV and BC or financial statement in AX, DF&O. So I'm bringing a net change and I'm bringing account schedule into the rows, and I'm bringing then a date to bring the report. So still nothing, because what we have here are the reports that bring us some value. So for example, I'll filter out this Power BI report, and now you can see here I have a real P&L statement, really a simple one, with the information that I have, like a revenue, COGS, then I have a structure of my cost and profit calculation. And all this is set in your Dynamics, and we are just restructuring data and giving this in a very nice way. So we can go, of course, into the monthly level, and we can better look into this data so that we bring in a month like this. And in what we would do here, we could do all kind of formatting. And this is already a formatted version of financial report, where we can easily spot, hey, June was not really good for revenue, and this is probably, causing, a loss in this period. And there is a high COGS in July. Maybe we write off a part of our inventory aging items that were not moving at all when we decided, okay, let's write this off. So what else are the options that we have here? Okay, let me just give you the option here. So we are looking into the structure of our cost. And this is 2018, and it's not difficult to spot that there are a lot of vehicle costs in October. So let's filter out October, okay? And we want to filter out, let's say, vehicle and let's say selling costs, just to give you an idea what we have. And now we are going to nest. Let me just nest a GL account. I just prepared the GL account so that it's easy accessible. Okay, and you can see here that I have been nesting the GL accounts that are having contribution to my definition in my financial statement. And these are the GL accounts, right? So I have flexibility of going into multiple levels, and it doesn't stop here with the GL account. I can nest also a document type or a document number or a voucher number if you're using the Dynamics, and we do not need to go into the subtotals. And if this has been posted through a purchase module, then we can bring also a vendor name. Just a second, and the vendor information will pop up. So now we see that there might be a one-time probably maintenance fee of this 50,000, repairs and maintenance, or gasoline and motor oil of this 50,000 that triggered that color in October was that high compared to the previous month. And with few clicks, I'm already in the details of my information. So that easy it is. Now further, I can go and analyze this data by financial dimensions. And this is the same P&L that we have here, but let's just focus on revenue and profit. So we are going to select only revenue and profit. You'll just see why. Okay, because we will have a lot of information available just within a click. And what we want to do is to analyze the revenue and profit in this period by financial dimensions. And again, we can choose out of 15 financial dimensions in DF&O and AX and 20 BC and NAV. So what do I mean? Let's bring in area as a financial dimension. You can see here, and I can bring customer group into the rows, or I can bring another row into the columns or rows. I can have a hierarchy, can see a hierarchy going to one level and another level and on. So actually the options that we have to analyze are not, ending, depends on our imagination. And the beauty of this is that we don't have to go to IT or to a vendor to provide us with these kind of reports, because we are going to create it in Dynamics, and BI4Dynamics does the transformation to the granularity of a document, which offers you all kinds of up, top, bottom analysis. So the question may be, is this possible also for the Power BI? And the answer is, of course. There is no reason why you could not create a dashboard like that. You are super flexible of creating like this that you see here in the Power BI. This is a Power BI from our web page, posted in web, so that you can experience it later also by yourself. Now, last but not least, I just want to show you one more thing, very interesting, is that what we have is we are standardizing also the mobile report. So let me just bring this into the picture. I'm connected into Power BI mobile in my iPhone, and I'm going to use a Power BI Pro account that's connecting to Power BI service. And we didn't talk about receivables. Let's look into the receivable information that we can get. So I'm clicking into receivables, and information that we have in our data warehouse and analysis services are simply provided in a very nicely structured format on mobile devices. So this is our receivables that goes into the details. You can see it here. And let's go, just moving this data to the right. So I'm looking into the data by years and looking at the data by month. I can always at any time filter out customer group, country, or anything. Or for example, I would just give you one more example. With one simple thing, I can see who owes us money more than 2 years. So I click here and I go down and see domestic customers, foreign customers. Okay, I want to see, hey, show me, for example, device shop. And it goes next level to the document level. So that easy it is to get this information. You don't have to call the secretary or someone to prepare the report. Wherever you are able to access this information on a very user-friendly manner. And all the technology is based on Microsoft, is providing you this really, really seamlessly integrated. Now, this is the part that I wanted to contribute. Over to you, Vijay.
Thank you, Mladen. So idea for today's presentation was to show you that for reporting and analytics, one does not need to know anything about whether you even have a Dynamics or SAP or Oracle or anything. The user can get all the dimensions and measures and right away start creating reports if the out-of-the-box reports are not to their liking. Looking at all the reports that Mladen's team has developed, I think 90% of the needs are satisfied automatically by out-of-the-box reports. So first thing for me is best BI content and complete flexibility. That's what all the clients seem to want, or at least all the business partners within the company seems to want. So that it provides right away. Get results, which is what my impatience tells me. Well, how do we get to where Mladen left us? My perspective always is proof is in the pudding. We can actually show you with your data how we can show this to you, to your decision makers. We'll install very simply BI4Dynamics. We'll connect, assuming you have Power BI for your users, all the predefined reports. We can show you how your reports look in Power BI. We'll implement, and of course, we'll support. And it's a risk-free decision. If you think, you know what, it doesn't work for me, that's okay. After 30 days, you would say, I don't want it. Okay. We want to make sure that people actually believe that their data can be distributed to them on a silver platter within 10 working days, given we need some access to your data sets and things like that. Okay. So try for free. And after that, you decide whether to keep it or not to keep it. Okay. I believe in the product. I think there is a need for this product in our client set. And this is a presentation to show you that maybe this is something you would like to consider. Okay. What about the cost? Always a question people ask. The beauty of this solution is that the product, there are two kinds of pricing from a client perspective, right? One is how much does this product cost? And how much does it take for me to use Azure services? So these are some benchmarks that we've created for BI4Dynamics for Business Central. We can talk to you about DFO and AX because DFO and AX clients are more complicated. But the price of this solution for Business Central users is really nothing compared to what you will pay for a business analyst, and that business analyst can ever produce for you all the reports that are already shown to you. Okay. The pricing depends upon whether you want 3 application areas or 6 application areas, and how many full-time users you have of BC. You could have hundreds of Power BI users, because Power BI usage is not controlled by us. It's controlled by how many licenses you have and how much access you want to give to your business partners or your business analysts. Okay. So incredibly value priced, almost no risk, and what we always wanted but were afraid to ask, give me visually appealing dashboards and reports, and I don't have to know the hundreds of tables that we have in either BC Nav or AXDFNO. Okay. That's kind of my conclusion from after what Mladen presented to you. Any questions that Natalie came or people have, this is the time to answer them.
Yes, absolutely. So first of all, thank you both. I think that was an incredible presentation. So now's the time where we will answer your questions. Please get them into the GoToWebinar chat panel. We did have a few roll in as you were presenting, so I think we can start with those. The first is, can we join cloud and on-premise versions into the same solution?
Oh, great question. We have clients where they have AX 2012 R2, then they implemented FNO, but they did not bring all the data from AX into FNO because there is no need for it. However, from a reporting perspective, they want to, let's call it, join the data between AX 2012 as an example and DFO. So given it's a data warehouse-based product, absolutely it can be done.
Great. The next one is how many days do you need for training and how are users trained, end users?
Boy, great question again. If the users already know Excel and or Power BI, then really there is not too much training required because all the dimensions and measures are there. All the dashboards which are application area specific are available on your fingertips. All we have to show is how to navigate the out-of-the-box reports so that people don't start creating new reports because most of the dashboards and reports already exist. So it's more of exposing them or providing information to them about what exists rather than talking about Power BI or Excel. And almost all the cases now, people know Excel and Power BI. So the training is really minimal, guys. There's hardly any training, to be frank with you.
Great. The next question is about licenses and how they are managed.
So Power BI licenses are managed by you. We have nothing to do with it. BI4Dynamics licenses are managed through automation. You just have to ask us, tell us how many users you have. If you have 30 users of, say, FNO or BC, your pricing determines that. If you had more users, you call us and we'll give you more user licenses. Nothing more than that.
Great. And the last one is, can I configure all default Power BI reports?
Yep. It's Power BI. All the dimensions measures are available for you. Go for it.
Well, that looks like all of the questions. So with that, I definitely want to thank Vijay and Mladen, and thank you to all who joined. Also, if you are interested in getting started with BI4Dynamics, the first step is reaching out to us. We can discuss your needs, get your trial started. So send us an email or visit the BI4Dynamics.com website, and we definitely hope to hear from you. So thank you again. Enjoy the rest of your week, and take care.
And thanks, Natalie. Thanks, Mladen. Thank you, participants.